Before getting started, the first thing I did was take a 1/4" ratchet with a 10mm socket, and I undid the negative battery cable here. We'll have the doors open for an extended period of time, so we want to make sure we don't run the battery down. As you can see here, we had a drink spill at some point and it got under the floor mat, and it's molding now, and it's rather gross and stinky. The seat is held in with 4 T40 screws, 1 in each corner. I am going to undo the 2 in the back first. Yeah, I just noticed there's this fast food bag under the seat. Classic. So we'll go ahead and take out our back bolts. Some start on the passenger side, which of course is on the right here in the US of A. There we go. I found I can stick them in the center track here for safekeeping. Now let's go get the fronts. Okay, now we'll slide our seat back and get these 2 bolts in the front here. Then I tilted the seat back and unplugged the electrical connector. Most modern seats are going to have something similar. Okay, here we go. Trying to get our cord out of there. Pull this forward onto the seat tracks as much as we can. We'll take care not to hit the sill here. And this thing is tilted as far forward as it's going to go. Let's see if we can just rotate it 90 degrees. Grab the headrest. And tip it. Now we'll do the same thing on that side. Before trying to use the shampooer, we need to go ahead and vacuum the carpets. I'm just using my little shop vac here. This will actually get rid of most of the junk, but we still need shampoo. Well, just running the vacuum helped things tremendously. There wasn't a lot of leakage or spills from the center console, so I didn't pull it out. It can just be wiped down, but everything came out looking good. We just have this spot of nasty moldy stuff here to clean up. Let's have a look at our household shampooing machine. Here is our household shampooing machine. It is a Hoover Power Scrub Deluxe Spin Scrub 50. I've had this about 5 years. It does a great job on the carpets in the house. I've used it many times. I have not used the upholstery attachment, but I bought this one specifically because it could use that attachment. So we'll give it a try here today and see how it goes. This wasn't a real expensive unit, around $100 I think. It's kind of a middle of the road type of thing. So you fill up the top here with some solution and hot water from the tap, and everything gets collected in this thing down here. Let's give it a whirl. This is the upholstery attachment. The vacuum of the air being drawn through actually makes the brush spin, which is kind of clever. And it also has a trigger on it so you can squirt the cleaning solution or water out. So I started with this to get the worst of the muck off of there, but it doesn't fit very well into corners. And later on I switched to a smaller tool. This is after about 10 or 15 minutes with the upholstery scrubbing tool, and it's made a lot of improvement so far. Now I've switched to a smaller tool. This one fits in the corners. It doesn't have the automatic scrubber. It does have a little bit of a brush. I also used a handheld brush. And you notice I removed that little webbing net thing that was on the side of the tunnel there. And this did a really good job, and you can see the color of the water that's still coming up from the carpet. Well, let's see what we'll end up with after doing all that. Oh, that's nasty. That water there on the bottom is just nearly black. So it took about 45 minutes to do the front passenger footwell and about 20 minutes to do the rest of the car. That thing was just super duper nasty dirty. I wound up switching to this type of end after doing the initial scrub on the passenger footwell. This worked really well for the rest of the car. Overall, I'm very happy with how this inexpensive home shampooer worked in the car. I'm sure a professional unit would have done the job much faster. So here is the after it's cleaned. Got a little bright sun in that one spot there so you can see it. That looks pretty darn good. You can never tell it had mold growing on it. And sitting out in the sun today, even though it's early December, it's about 70 degrees. Got a nice breeze and it's dried up pretty nicely. The floor mats on the passenger side were also awfully gross. I've had them soaking in a tub of soapy water for a couple hours. And I'll just go over them with a little scrub brush now. I'm going to try a bit of a different tact, putting these seats back in. I'm going to put the top in first and then twist it around to the back. Hopefully that'll be a little bit easier. Just got to figure out how to get a hold of it to do that. There we go. That was easier. Okay, now to get the bolts. First things first, plug in the electrical connector, make sure it snaps. Tip the seat down. I'll get forward a little bit. There we go. I'll just tighten them up and do the passenger seat. This has been sitting out in the bright sun for 2.5 hours or so. It's fairly dry. I think that'll work. Well, I'm happy with how this carpet cleaning worked out. Using the house carpet shampooer worked pretty good. The car's much cleaner now and it smells better. I had a little trouble getting the floor mats clean, and I finally sprayed some WD-40 on the sticky gummy parts and that cleaned it up. I washed that again, and then I actually sprayed a little WD-40 back on the mats, wiped it off really good, let them set out in the sun for a couple hours, and that all soaked in, and now they look really nice. It's amazing how just adding something like that helps. If you try son of a gun or some other treatment like that, all the time something makes them really slick. And your feet can slide around when you're trying to drive. So I hadn't tried the WD-40 before, but it seems to have worked out really good. Now, I was thinking more about the shampooer itself, and there's nothing really magical about the way it works. I think if you had a can of upholstery cleaner and a scrub brush and a little squirt bottle full of warm water and a wet dry shop vac, you could do the same thing. Just put the upholstery cleaner on there, scrub it, spray some water on there, and suck it up with the shop vac. The nice thing with the shampooer machine is the nozzles are clear, so you can see what's being sucked up. And what I did is I kept going till I got clear water back, so I know I had everything off of there. Anyhow, I hope you found this helpful. Welcome any questions or comments. Just leave them in that comment section down there below. Well, until next time.